Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another motion video. So today I'm back with another Team Wars. This is how we secured Legend Leader. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the wars that we have faced throughout the season and how we actually got Legend Leader. So yeah, this season we ended off Legend Leader. We got the rewards. I'm actually about to get it right now, I think, but I'm also going to show you guys my battles against Dragon's Fire. This was the last war that we faced before the season ended, of course. So I'm gonna go and show you guys how I did my attacks against them. But anyways, I hope you guys are excited. If you are, smash like button, subscribe to the channel, notifications on. Anyways, let's go on and get started. All right, 100 super dream cells thanks to Beardos. All right, Beardos again. Thanks for the cells. Fail. Let's go. Awesome. All right, so I'm not sure if it actually ended. Let me see. Hey, let's go. Campaign end. Corrupted campaign 3 has ended. You can still play on ranked team wars until the next campaign starts. So yeah, now that means that we basically won, you know, legendary leader until the next campaign starts. Everything else that we do, like the war that we get into, we won't really lose or gain trophies out of it. So we stayed legend leader, Team Spirit 2015, and we'll be getting 22,000 war medals, right? And you need to be top 1, of course, to get the legend leader. So I'm really proud of my teammates, honestly. We did great this season. So yeah, we got legendary leader this season, hopefully next season as well. But anyways, yeah, it looks like I participated 15 out of 10 wars. I actually did more, but I left join Hounds and then I came back a while ago. But yeah, we got it. We had legendary leader. That's awesome. So let me go ahead and show you guys some of the wars that we faced, and I'll tell you guys which ones were difficult and which ones weren't. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom. So starting off, actually let's do it from top. No, bottom would be better. We got Champs Elias, right, all the way in the bottom 21 days ago. That one was 454 coins. They had 328 details. I want to see how well I actually did against them. Let me see. I want to see how well I did. 17 coins, 1 out of 6 successful defenses, so that was all right, you know, not that bad. Then it was this Liga team. I'm not sure, I've never heard of that team, so let's just ignore that one. But then we got Hounds of Justice. Now this one was a tie, and this actually helped us secure legendary leader for this season. So they gained 9 trophies, we lost 9, but hey, it was a tie, so it's better than losing, right? But yeah, the restrictions were pretty terrible, honestly. Like the rules, especially metal part, it wasn't so good, honestly. But hey, my defense actually ended up chipping off like 3 coins, which was nice. So I ended up gaining 17 coins, even though I had a pretty bad monsters in that restriction, especially the metal part, because I was using Ferris and my level 130 for Rada against 150s and stuff, but I still pulled it off. Let me actually show you guys who it was. Let me see. So yeah, those were my attacks. I've already uploaded the attacks. I made a video on it. I recommend checking it out. It was awesome if you haven't already. I spent like 600 or 700 gems that war. It was insane, but it paid off. Now the reason why it says Thanos actually got 2 coins instead of 3 was because someone else lost 2 coins, so this player rushed his attacks, and that 1 coin right there, you know, even though he beat all my monsters, I had 2 coins on my defense, and that's why. So this player right here, this player only got 1 coin, but yeah, I'm glad he got 1 coin, honestly. We ended up tying, which was great. But yeah, the war against Hounds of Justice actually helped us stay legend leader, which was awesome. But take a look at this. Right after, we had an easy war, which was awesome. Then we had Mob Family. We got 429 coins. They had 139. I don't think they really tried. The thing that was weird with the Mob Family, I think it was Mob Family, I'm pretty sure. They were running lots of rainbow runes, which I didn't get. But yeah, right after we had Gretchen's army, then Daytona, then that other gatekeepers team, Mighty Monsters, and then lastly Dragon's Fire. And right here, our recent war was Dragon's Fire 2 hours ago. We got 469 coins. They had 350, and not sure how many coins I got. Oh, it was like 17, right? Yeah, 17 coins. I could have gotten 18, but 17. But anyways, so I'm gonna go and show you guys how I did my attacks against Dragon's Fire. Let's go. Alright guys, so my second attack, if I'm not mistaken, or my third attack, was this number 3 base, Diane. And this player, I wanted to crack his or her base. It was actually not that difficult to crack. So take a look at this. Mouse run, full team speed, soul drag, right? So there was a soul drag trap, but it's not that hard to counter that. Then there is Spec with 1 strength and 2 speed with an absolute 0, right? And it had Cane Sword. And there's also Blimiria with 1 strength and 2 speed, Dispelling Fist with Laser Beam and Cane Sword. So them two having, you know, 2 strength runes there, it actually gave me an advantage overall with speed. So here's what I ended up doing. to counter this player's base. I went with 2 team speed with 1 speed on Rodden. I went with 1 strength and 2 speed on Spectra with absolute 0. And then also 3 team speed there. So I wanted to make my Spectra super fast so I could take in the first turn and hit him with AoE absolute 0. Because none of them are immune to freeze and they can't really do anything against absolute 0. Absolute 0 is just super broken, especially with Spectra. I mean, we can all agree on that. I could have ended up using Vampira Straw, but I don't have any runes on Vampira, so that's why I didn't use it instead of Rodden. I could have also used Ferris that could remove positive status effects with Obsidian Claw, but I didn't have... Well, I do have spares, but I just wanted to use Rodden because why not? Rodden's awesome. So, yeah. And then I did have Spirit Battery on my Blamiria, guys, because I wanted to counter the Soul Drag later on with that Spirit Battery. So, here's what I did. I take in the first turn, Falling Fire, Absolute 0, Mega Froze, all 3 of them, right? So then they took a turn, they were frozen. So then what I did was I used a little skill, which removes positive status effect. And then right after, I started with Petal Sight. Yeah. So I did Petal Sight right here to get rid of Spec. And then Maelstrom was kind of weak, but then I wanted to target Blamiria, get rid of Blamiria. That's what I ended up doing. Blamiria ended up dying. And then here, I just went ahead and eliminated because remember I have, what's it called, Spirit Battery. So once the damage was dealt, it dealt like 500k, but the Maelstrom ended up dying, so Spirit Battery kicked in and healed me by 1,000 or something. I'm not sure how much it was. Was it 50,000, 60,000? I don't think it was 1,000. It was 60,000. So yeah, that kicked in, and then I end up winning with 3 coins basically. Alright guys, so for my next attack, this was actually my last attack, but they're not in order, so just ignore that. Don't mind it. I wanted to take on base 21 because I had 18 coins, and I wanted to make a strat video for the team. So take a look at this. The enemy had 2 team speed with 1 team life with speed rune, right, on Master Rat, and it had Static Shock. Then Spec had 1 life, 1 strength, and 1 speed with Mud Body, and then 1 team life, 1 team speed, and 1 strength on Corite, right? So this was like a really slow base, which gave me a huge advantage. And here's what I ended up doing in order to take it down. Now, there wasn't no Soul Drag trap or anything like that, but even if there was, I could have countered it. I needed Soul Rage on Ferris, and then this monster, Spectra, absolute 0. I could have went with something else too. Here, with 1 speed and strength with a team speed. So the play was to basically apply the triple damage, not to Spec, but to Blamiria. Now take a look at the turn orders here, right? So I take in the first turn with Ferris. I applied the triple damage, not to Spectra, although Spectra takes in the turn right after. I could have done it to Spectra, but no. Blamiria will deal a lot more damage, especially because it has an element advantage over Kurai. And the reason why I didn't want to do it with Spec was because the Falling Fire would have been weak against the enemy Spec. And the enemy Spec is super tanky. Look at that. 800k life, right? So what I ended up doing was Mega Freezing them all, just like that. So the enemy Spec, you know, I went ahead and got frozen. Here, look at that. Petal Sight, bam. So just like that, I went ahead and secured 3 coins against that base. Now this next attack, it was against their number 10 base, Jamie, and it had a 3 team speed of Maelstrom with Soul Drag. Many of them had, you know, Maelstrom Soul Drag, so it was pretty easy to crack them, you know what I mean? Like Soul Drag with Maelstrom, all you had to do was pair up with another corrupted monster with a Spirit Battery, or go with your attacker or any other monsters that will take down the what's it called, the Soul Drag monster basically, which is Maelstrom, but have like a life rune or something so that it'll all go towards that monster once you end up killing it. So as long as it's over 500k HP, or depending on the base, it may have Static Shocks, it may have Mud Body, so you gotta like calculate all of that. But anyways, this base also had 2 team speed with 1 speed on Spec with a Mud Body, 1 life, 1 speed, and 1 strength on Blamiria with the Spilling Fist. So here's what I did. I used the same exact team that I showed you guys on my first video. 2 team speed with 1 speed. All I needed Rodden was for the remove positive status effect skill. Absolute 0 with 2 strength and 1 speed, and then triple team speed. So Spirit Battery to counter the Soul Drag again. But this base, what I liked about it was that it was kind of slow. So it gave me the advantage with my Spec. I went with 2 strength. Keep that in mind. I didn't go with like 2 speed or maybe 3 speed, you know? Nothing like that, because of the fact that the base was slow. And take a look at it. The speed runes, it had like 21k. That was the highest. So it was super easy to take down. Yeah. So I took in the first turn with spec, used falling fire. Didn't deal that much damage, right? But it was fine. So then the mud body kicked in with the armor. Here I just needed Rodden to remove positive status effects so I can start attacking the other two. And I did Petal Sight. Petal Sight deals quite a lot of damage. I love that skill. It is so good on Blimiria. Who did I take down here second? I think it was... Yeah, it was Blimiria because Blimiria had the String Tune if I'm not mistaken. But I just wanted to take down Blimiria as soon as possible. Here I just went with the damage protection. I could have went with a different skill or I could have charged up as well. That would have worked out. But just wanted to go with that because why not? Use my AoE skill to counter Soul Drag with Spirit Battery. Although that damage protection also countered it, but Spirit Battery was there too. So I could have even ended up, you know, going with a UA, Unalting Assault, if I wanted to, against that enemy's Blimiria. Doesn't matter if there's anticipation or anything like that, because Blimiria, once I hit him with the Petal Sight, which was right about here, look at this. If I did Petal Sight right here, and UA kicked in, right? 60k damage, it's okay if Blimiria's anticipation kicks in, because remember, it's Mega Frozen, so I didn't really mind it. I could have just hit it again with a different skill, you know what I mean? But I ended up 3-coining it, so that's how I did it. Alright, so for my next attack, it was base number 7, Pokey. And this player had 1 team strength with life. Alright, so number 12 was next. And this is where I messed up. This was my 4th attack, it looks like. Yeah. So I did 3 already. This was my 4th one. And this is where I messed up, guys. So Maelstrom had triple team speed with Soul Drag there. Triple speed on Spectra with absolute 0, right? So Spectra was pretty fast. 1 strength and then 2 team speed on the Soul Valgar there with Static Shock. So I couldn't pull a... Well, actually I could have. I could have pulled a play with UA, but... Anyways, here's what I did. Alright, let's go ahead and enter it. So this is what I went with. I went with 1 team strength with 2 team speed on my Kurai. I didn't want to give him a speed to make him any faster. Just went with that team strength to help Spec out, give Spec more strength basically. Alright, so here instead of Spirit Battery, what I should have went with was the Spilling Fist. Alright, but yeah, just went with that Spirit Battery to counter the Soul Drag. But later on, I'm not going to spoil anything, but take a look at this. 2 Strength Runes and 1 Speed next on my Spec. So those are the runes and the talent I went with. 2 team speed with 1 team life. Alright, so take a look at this. I went ahead and started off. The enemy Spec took in the first turn. It recharged. The reason why it recharged is because normally, enemy Spec, right? Enemy Spec, if you're running Elvira on your team, she just ends up recharging. I'm not sure if it's a bug. I'm not sure if that's how it just is. But it's been a thing for quite a while, okay? So in case you didn't know, that's a strategy. You can go ahead and use Elvira on your team, and you know how Elvira starts off with evasion. Enemy Spec, it's always so scared and never attacks no matter what. You have the Spilling Fist, nothing. You have Unalting Assault, nothing. So it always recharges. So I wanted to give in the first turn to the enemy Spec, and it ended up recharging. So then I went ahead and used my Absolute 0, Mega Froze them. Now this is kind of where I messed up, you know, just killing Valgar fully. But then I couldn't really do anything, to be honest. Valgar was just too weak. And I just made my Spec way too strong. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, that's one mistake. But here, the enemy Valgar just went with that healing with the shield. So here is where I should have given the Spilling Fist to my Kurai. But yeah, I didn't do that. I just wish I had Spilling Fist because I wanted to remove positive status effects and, you know, apply the Nightmare Torture. And also deal some damage, of course. But just applying that Nightmare Torture. So here I just went ahead and dealt some damage to enemy Spec. So Mega Freeze was off. But then here, look, you see the turn order? This is where it got messed up. Because if earlier I went ahead and removed positive status effect on Maelstrom, I could have went ahead and dealt enough damage to Spec here. Okay, and ended up killing Spec. Or at least making it super weak or so. But yeah, with the Spilling Fist, I should have been able to eliminate Spec. Because remember, the Spilling Fist has 2 uses. Keep that in mind. So here I was like, you know what? I messed up. So I just went ahead and recharged, and yeah, there it goes. 1 shot, 1 kill. Kurai dead. Shouldn't have done that. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's not too late. I can still go and win this with 2 coins. No problem. So my next target was Spec, and I went ahead and took down Spec. So he hit me with that. I went ahead and healed and removed negative status effects instead of going with the heal skill. Okay, so falling fire, I didn't want to eliminate. Keep that in mind. I didn't eliminate Maelstrom because remember I had Soul Drag and I didn't want Soul Drag to kick in and eliminate my spec. So I went ahead and continued playing around. Now here, I just played around. I actually got lucky because the enemy Maelstrom didn't attack, right? So here I went ahead and applied Protecting Light, which applies Photophobic Shield for 2 turns. So I went ahead and eliminated. Soul Drag kicked in and dealt 0 damage because of the shield there. So that saved me. But yeah, see how I went ahead and played around and still secured 2 coins. Although it wasn't 3 but 2. That's whatever. So for my next attack, it was their number 4 base, PBS. And this number 4 base, here's what I went with in order to sort of beat the base. I went with 1 team speed and 2 speed on Rodden. And I needed the Never Enough skill right there. I needed that equipped. So I went ahead and had it equipped. 2 strength gems and 1 speed on my Spectra with Haunting Assault. Alright. And then lastly, Blamiria full team speed with, of course, Spirit Battery to counter that Soul Drag near the end. Alright, so that was basically the play. Now, I know you're like, and isn't the enemy spec is going to take in the first turn? Yeah, it's completely fine. Because remember, Rodden is immune to freeze, and the play is to take in the turn right after, and basically use Never Enough. So, that's what I ended up doing. Never Enough, removed all negative status effects. Even if it was an AoE freeze, it would have been fine. And then here, I went with 1 shot, 1 kill. By the way, I'm not using Absolute Zero for this battle. I went with Haunting Assault. That was the play. Now, right here, I wanted to deal some damage to the enemy's Maelstrom. Not too much, but just some, so that I can still get an extra turn and still deal damage to the enemy's Maelstrom. So that's what I ended up doing. Now here, I could have went with Falling Fire, but at this moment, I didn't really think about this here. Okay, so I could have went with Falling Fire because the enemy's Sir Valgar was going to survive, and I'm not sure what his other relic slot is. I hope it's not armor. If it is, then I made a good choice here. But if it is an armor, then yeah, I made a good choice. But if it's not, I could have just went with AoE Falling Fire. Because take a look at this. So, the enemy, you know, spec, yeah, whatever. Falling Fire, I could have done this. Because remember, Soul Drag would have kicked in. It would have dealt damage. And then I would have been fine. I could have countered Soul Drag with Spirit Battery that I have on Blamiria. And the enemy could have just died from burning and it would have lost a turn. But just to play it safe, I didn't think about that, so I went ahead and just eliminated Sir Valgar just like that. It dealt damage, completely fine, not a problem. Maelstrom went with the Megatons, still no problem. I think I went ahead and recharged here. Yeah, I didn't want to do anything, so I just recharged. Spec died, healed up, and then here I just went ahead and used my Mud Realm because Spectra has Pierce. Alright, so right about here, take a look at this play. I didn't have Pierce, right? You always gotta be super sure. You gotta check some things here and there. I could have used Firebolt or Falling Fire, but it wouldn't have been a good idea because Maelstrom had Megataunt and Damage Mirror plus Shields, right? So we wouldn't have died, and also it would have just directly came back to me because it's Skill Mirror, because I don't have Pierce. So that's why I went with 1 shot, 1 kill. You know, you gotta be smart about it here. So instead of eliminating Maelstrom, I went ahead and eliminated the other monster because remember earlier it died. So I came back with Essen and no more Essence for him. So I went ahead and eliminated Maelstrom with Burning Hand Fist, and then I countered it with Spirit Battery and also the Mud Realm skill that I used earlier that gave me damage protection. So that helped me secure 3 coins, which got me the win. But anyways, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for today's Monster Legends Team Wars video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite part was, and let me know if you found this video helpful. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.